Ladysmith Little Theatre is proud to present Happy as the Larks, a radio play written by Greg Finnegan and directed by Mike Dietrich. Once again, Biltmore Laundry Bluing invites us to pay a visit to the town of Robin's Nest. Now let's drop into our friends, the Lark family. Larry Lark and his wife May and their daughter June. And of course, we can't forget Aunt Fran.
Good morning, Mrs. Lark.
Good morning, Mr. Lark.
Fire! Fire!
Do you smell smoke?
Yes, Aunt Fran must be cooking breakfast again.
Operator! Oh, hello, Marlene. It's Fran Lark. Please send a fireman and make sure he's a bachelor. I'll do the same for you one day. Bye. No cause for panic. I called the firehouse.
That's the fourth time this week that Aunt Fran has started a fire, twice in my Frigidaire.
In the refrigerator?
Until she realized she would get better results from the Westinghouse stove.
This woman needs cooking lessons.
Father, you know very well that the spring cotillion is coming up. Aunt Fran doesn't need cooking lessons. She needs a date.
June, trust me, Aunt Fran will never get a man by burning French toast.
Oh, yes, she will.
That sounds like the fire engine coming our way.
Father, you were saying?
Gracious, is that the fire engine? And I look such a fright.
Aunt Fran, isn't that a new dress?
This old rag? Why, when I heard that siren, I just put on the first thing at hand.
That's the new dress you bought last week. Look here. The price tag is still on it.
Oh, that must be him. It must be them, the fire department. I'll answer it, shall I?
This isn't a fire, it's a fashion parade.
Father, it's merely Aunt Fran baiting her trap.
Can't blame a gal for trying.
Are you all just going to stand here?
Mother, Father, may I see you both in the kitchen?
But isn't the kitchen the scene of the crime?
Aunt Fran, you can speak with the firemen out on the veranda.
Good plan. And one of you can wait a few minutes and then carry out that pitcher of iced tea that I prepared.
Why didn't you throw the iced tea on the fire?
Father, you have so much to learn.
About fires?
About women. But June, if we're here in the kitchen and Aunt Fran and the firemen are on the veranda, how will we hear what's going on?
There are some things that should remain between a man and a woman, or a man and his lodge brother. And that fireman is Wilbur Franklin, and he is a lodge brother.
We'll take turns carrying refreshments, and if we just happen to hear a tidbit of information, then we can relay it back.
I just thought of something. We can leave the parlor window open and the door to the kitchen open. That way we can hear clearly what's going on out on the veranda.
Is that how you know that someone will ring the doorbell before we hear it?
I'll get it.
So that's how Mother keeps tabs on my dates when we're on the veranda.
If I should happen to hear anything too romantic, I can intervene.
Mother, you should do what Father does. Pretend to be painting the picket fence out front.
That picket fence can always use a touch-up.
At 10 o'clock at night, after a dance, when I'm with Earl Hopper.
Especially when you're with Four Hands Hopper.
Why, Mr. Franklin, I apologize for causing such a fuss. But when I saw all that smoke, I said to the operator, Marlene, send a fireman. And then I said, Operator, could you please send out a fireman to make sure that I have followed all the correct procedures?
I should give you a gold star for what you have done. There is no sign of smoke at all.
That's good. My nephew's wife, May, is a meticulous housekeeper.
Nice of Aunt Fran to notice.
You would never know that she failed home economics in high school twice.
I never did any such thing.
Well, we always knew my father's older sister was the supercilious one in our family.
Supercilious? Larry, have you been memorizing the word of the day again?
Yes, and if the local radio station were to call me, I could tell them the word of the day and have my name entered to win the big prize.
Remind me, Father, what is the big prize? As if I didn't know.
A year's supply of Biltmore laundry bluing.
Yes, Larry Lark, you are right. Biltmore laundry bluing is a great prize indeed. Listeners, this is the right time to remind you that Biltmore laundry bluing will banish your wash day blues with just a capful in warm water. By its patented process, Biltmore laundry bluing will make your clothesline the brightest in the neighborhood. Biltmore laundry bluing, in a class by itself. And now back to our program. We find Aunt Fran and Fireman Franklin still out on the veranda, with the others listening intently.
I am so grateful that the fire department is right in our neighborhood.
This is all part of our good neighbor policy. And may I be so bold as to say that at most fires, the ladies are not as well turned out as you are, Mrs.
Oh, I'm only a miss.
Aunt Fran Lark does not miss too many things, if you ask me.
She just hasn't found the right Fred Astaire to her Ginger Rogers.
Or the Dagwood Bumstead to her Blondie.
You know, Fireman Franklin,
Please call me Wilbur.
is that what your other damsels in distress call you?
No, it's what my mother calls me.
I am Fran Lark, just plain Fran Lark.
I noticed she didn't say plain old Fran Lark.
If he were in the movies, he would say, "Little lady, there's nothing plain about you."
He is a lodge brother. He would have to tip his fireman's helmet before saying anything like that.
So Lodge Brothers can't be as romantic as Robert Taylor.
They're only allowed to be as romantic as Rin Tin Tin.
Wilbur, you deserve some iced tea for coming to my rescue. I said iced tea!
Aunt Fran, did someone mention your award-winning iced tea?
Award-winning?
Well, it has gotten honorable mentions anytime it's served.
My father said that I should thank Fireman Franklin.
Wilbur, please. Your father and I are lodge pals.
Be that may, I will have to give Wilbur the secret salute when I next see him.
Get ready then, because if I know Aunt Fran, she'll want one of us to bring out those oatmeal cookies that are cooling on the kitchen table.
Well, thank you, Wilbur, for coming to Aunt Fran's rescue.
Thank you, June.
She is a pleasant young lady.
Yes, she takes after my side of the family.
May I interest the both of you in some homemade cookies?
Why, Larry, did you bake these yourself?
Of course. Do you want the recipe?
What are they?
Oatmeal and something. Well, this looks like a raisin.
It's a date.
Are you asking Wilbur for a date or vice versa?
Thank you, nephew Larry. That will be all for now.
Going to ask her for a date already? He's a fast worker. For a lodge brother.
Mother, of the two of them, I would say that Aunt Fran has him on her line, and she's about to reel him in. Poor Fireman Franklin doesn't stand a chance.
The next thing you know, Aunt Fran will be playing Guy Lombardo on the Victrola, and they will be dancing.
Dancing, Mrs. Lark, did you ever? It's mid-morning.
Such a romantic time.
Listen, young lady, you are still too young for romantic times.
June, you brought out the iced tea and your father brought out the cookies. So what should I bring out to the veranda?
A preacher and an organist?
Iced tea and oatmeal raisin. My mother would be pleased. Wait, did you hear someone calling?
Like your fire chief?
Like my mother.
I have imposed on your time far too long.
I don't feel imposed upon.
Isn't this a lovely morning? Why, my feet feel so light. Feet feeling light.
That's the cue.
For what?
For Guy Lombardo, of course.
Can you hear something?
Only the pitter-patter of my heart after my excitement earlier.
sounds like Sammy Kaye.
It's Guy Lombardo.
And it's a foxtrot.
I thought you'd never ask.
I'm here to state that dancing a foxtrot at this hour of the day has to be in contravention of the rules of our lodge. Wilbur Franklin could be drummed out.
If you want drums, Father, you need Jean Krupa. I must say, I have to hand it to Aunt Fran. I think she may have just landed a date to the spring cotillion.
Oh my, I am positively giddy. Now, where did I put that invitation? I mean, where did I put that important reminder that the fire department sent me? Why, here it is. Perhaps you would care to read it to me, Fireman Franklin?
You are cordially invited to attend the annual spring cotillion. Please RSVP sooner rather than later so we will know if we have to borrow extra chairs from the pensioners' hall.
Wilbur, you and I and the spring cotillion? I'm as happy as a lark.
I just hope I can get a ticket for Mother.
What just happened out there in the veranda?
Aunt Fran just got a date to the cotillion.
With a fireman.
And a lodge brother?
Say, can you smell something burning?
Father, you forgot to take out the second batch of cookies.
Why would she need a second batch?
Father, you still have so much to learn about women.
In case she didn't land Wilbur with the first batch.
Fire! Fire!
Oh, for
Fire!
Pete's sake, I
Fire!
can't believe Father
Fire!
didn't.
Well, folks, tune in next week as once more we can be happy as the Larks. And be happy and bright with Biltmore Laundry Bluing. Bye for now. You've been listening to Happy as the Larks, performed by
Carol Fowler as Aunt Fran Lark.
Kelly Kajek as Wilbur Franklin.
Leslie Lee as May Lark.
Christian Ostafy as Larry Lark.
Sharon McLeod as June Lark.
and Lyndon Bisdell as the announcer. Original music composed by Charles Harmon. Sound recording and editing by Charles Harmon. The producers are David Erisman and Bruce Ormond. This has been a Ladysmith Little Theatre production.